filled up my wife's truck the other day, y'all, and it was $62 at Sam's Club. Man, you know gas is high when you paying $62 at a spot like Sam's Club or Costco. But I remember there was a time where I couldn't even afford to keep our membership at Sam's Club. In fact, I was applying for a job at this same Sam's Club that I was working at, because 2015, y'all, 2015 was rough. We was going through it. And one thing I learned in that time is if you can't make more money, then you gotta save more money. You gotta spend less money. I remember watching a movie called The Martian, Matt Damon, really good movie. And I've been meaning to watch it again because it's a super dope scene where they're trying to give more life to the rocket. I'm butchering this, but basically, in order to make it to Mars, they have to basically lighten the rocket, I believe. And that movie inspired me because in that moment, we was going through it because Cross Movement, I was 2 years removed from Cross Movement, but they were still collecting all of the royalties at this point. I hadn't gotten a royalty check from Cross Movement for We Fit the Workout Plan for 2 years, and that was still my biggest selling album and highest streamed album at the time. And so it wasn't as much revenue as when it first dropped, but it was still like a significant amount of money that normally, like with other albums like Boom Baptism and Behind the Glory at this point, because I was off of the label that album was released through, I was seeing all the money from those projects. And even though like my deal was done, even like, because I had gotten out of my contract early so I could drop Winds and Waves. But even if the contract was fully, for lack of a better term, served, then I should have gotten the rights back to my album at this point to where I could redistribute it and start getting the money from it. It actually took another 3 years to get them to relinquish my album. Actually, Cross Movement didn't even release the album to me. I had to do this. I had to basically pull a trick with the digital distribution companies and Spotify to get the album removed. And I'm not sharing it. I'm not trying to put Cross Movement in a bad light. That's not the intent. But as I told you, I'm writing this book and I'm trying to encourage people that, hey, if God is giving you a vision, that thing is going to come to pass. If God has you on a journey to accomplish something, he's still going to bring that thing to pass, even if it does not look like it. That's more the spirit behind this. Cause I still got much love for everybody that was a part of the Cross Movement label. You know what I'm saying? Cause I separate Cross Movement, the group, Cross Movement, the label, two totally different things in my book. But that wasn't the only thing that was going on. There was some other stuff going on. So we actually owed the IRS it was close to $30,000 we owed the IRS. And at this point, 2015, we still hadn't finished paying it off. It took us like 8 years to pay it off. It's a long story. In fact, that's in the book. So, yeah, make sure you get on the waiting list for this book because it's juicy, y'all. But it's good. It's very encouraging for the Lord. I just want to encourage people, you know what I'm saying, with my story. Because I got a wild story. It's kind of crazy. Like, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be still doing Christian rap. Like, if you looked at, like, the optics, like, shouldn't be here. But it's by the grace of God. Because I'm like, it doesn't even have to be Christian rap. I don't have to be doing anything related to music, period. But I believe that God's not through with me in the music scene. which is why he's giving me longevity in the music scene. So that's more of it. It doesn't have to be music. I just want to be in his will, and I believe I am in his will with the things I'm doing related to music. And so so we had the taxes, and then we had another thing. We had this third thing where I was working on a web series, like a TV series. It was a film, and I was asked to do sound design. I'd never done sound design before in my life. And that came with some issues. I thought I was doing a good job, but apparently as a sound designer, I was just, because it was my first attempt at this, I never went to school for this. I'm just going off of instinct. And so I guess I just was not hitting the mark. And I had been working on this project for like 3-4 months without getting paid. And then on top of that, because I wasn't hitting the mark, they were going to replace me with somebody else, which is fine, but I still needed to be paid for the work I did. And I didn't get paid for a long time. And there was an opportunity cost there, because I'm like, man, the money I could have made making beats, I forfeited that time to work on this project that ended up not paying off, did not even drop, and it just really set us behind. So there was it was just this perfect storm to really add to the struggle, to the point where I was like, I gotta start bringing in revenue right away, because making beats, sometimes you can make a beat and it'll sell that day, but sometimes a beat won't sell for months. And it's not because it's good or it's bad. It's just different artists like different styles. And then, of course, making music, I was working on the eighth at the time. I'm not going to get paid from the eighth unless I did some sort of crowd raising, or, like a Kickstarter. And I've always been really nervous about those. I've thought about doing one, but I'm like, man, I'm just really shy about that kind of stuff, and I fear rejection. I'm not gonna get into all that. But KJ52 is really good at this, so maybe I gotta hit him up about this. But I was working on the eighth, and of course I'm not gonna get paid from the eighth until the eighth drops. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on it for months and months and months and months. And I knew it was gonna pay off in the long run, but I'm not gonna see $1 from that until it's finished. And so in that season, in addition to, all right, I gotta start doing Uber Eats in order to get some money coming in, we gotta spend less. That means we gotta start using coupons. We gotta start shopping the deals. We gotta stop buying the foods that are convenient and start cooking more. Like, go to the meat and seafood aisle and buy fresh chicken versus buying frozen chicken that you're paying double the price for. There are all these different things that I started putting into our budget, to where it's like, even though we're not making more money, we're making our money stretch. And so I think in this season, in this time we're in, yes, gas is high, food is going up, airfare is going up, and all these things are happening. But we can't. I've seen so many people overspend, and not that fixes everything. Sometimes you do have to get a bigger shovel, but it would help if you cut out some addictions, put some money in your pocket. It would help if you weren't going to eat fast food every day, and you could see how much money you would save if you were cooking at home. And I know everybody has different scenarios, so you take this as thou wilt, but we can, based on the experience I had in 2015, we can do better. It really, that season caused me to evaluate and be like, all right, how can we keep more money in our pocket? What can we do to keep more money in our pocket? And it's things that I still live by to this day. You know what I'm saying? And so I'll end with this. I remember quitting my job back in 2008, right before Air Jordan dropped. And my manager at the time, I was working at a community police partnering center, and she was like, you may not want to quit your job right now. I put in my 2-week notice, but my wife and I have been praying on it for 3 years. You know what I mean? And so, like, God gave us the green light. I quit, and then Air Jordan popped off like a month later. Like, I didn't even know it was gonna pop off the way it did. And so like, even though it terrifies me that I quit my job, and then all this stuff started happening. God is taking care of us, and two, I think this book's gonna do really good, y'all. I've been really surprised at the reactions these videos have been getting. If you like the videos, you're gonna love the book. Because like, it's everything I'm talking about is in the book, and I go more in detail in the book because I'm very long-winded. Like, I can go way past these 10 minutes. Maybe I need to be a preacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still want to do music, but maybe I'm supposed to be a pastor or something. I don't know. Pastor is a whole different. Ooh, never mind. Let me cut this video off. So be encouraged, y'all. Times are hard, but we're gonna be all right.